is not a conclusion or a pronouncement of guilt on the people that are named here. The other reports that we've looked at are the Auditor General's reports, quite a number of them, looking at, public resources, misappropriation of resources, and questions around the whole issues of financial management. We've also looked at cases that are active in the courts. And in doing all this, we've also been guided by the laws of the land, the Constitution of Kenya. We have Article 10 on national values and Chapter 6 on leadership and integrity. And also the moral and ethical requirements that are referred to under Article 99(1)(b) and Article 193(1)(b, as well as Article 201 on principles of public finance and Article 232 on values and principles of public service. We've also been guided by the Leadership and Integrity Act, the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, the Public Finance Management Act, the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, as well as the Election Offences Act. The list of 20 is not conclusive of all the people we believe fall short of the requirements of Chapter 6. But it includes individuals who have been identified for grand-scale corruption, unethical behavior, or conduct not becoming of a leader under our laws. Specifically, they have been associated with grand corruption, multiple corruption cases, abuse of office, threatening national cohesion through discriminatory and all violent behavior. And I would say, to borrow from the statement issued by the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops on 18th of April, people who have not shown respect for the law or the rule of law. And ladies and gentlemen, the respect for the rule of law is a major ingredient of who a leader is. So if you have leaders who don't respect the law, who violate that law willy-nilly, then they do not qualify, in our view, to be cleared to vie for public office. So their actions have had a far-reaching impact on constitutionally protected, marginalized and vulnerable groups, namely the youth, persons with disability, women and children. And again, I would like to emphasize again that this list does not constitute indictment of their criminal culpability, legal guilt or innocence. Rather, this list and the methodology is an attempt by the National Integrity Alliance to advance an ethical standard within which the rule of law, within the rule of law and our Constitution. And just again to emphasize that the standard that our politicians or some of our politicians would want us to adopt, which is the criminal standard, is one that is too low for purposes of leadership. And while we believe that the standard is more fundamental and that it's an ethical standard, we of course take cognizance of the fact that the National Commission on Human Rights has filed a request for an advisory opinion on the proper standard that is applicable. But while that decision is awaited, we recognize that we do have an election, and the bodies that are constitutionally mandated to ensure that integrity is enforced in our law have to play their part. And so this is, in a way, asking the institutions and to act in solidarity with the institutions that have already formed themselves into a working group to make sure that only those who qualify under our Constitution and the laws are given the opportunity to vie for elective positions. I am now going to give you the names of the individuals and the reason why we believe they do not qualify to be cleared to vie for an elective position. And also, one of the other criteria that we used, and you will recognize, is that these are people who have already gotten nominations in one way or the other, either through political parties or as offering themselves also as independent candidates for purposes of the elections. I'll start with the first name. That is Alfred Keter, who aspires to be a member of parliament for Nandi Hills constituency on the Jubilee Party. And on the record, there are allegations of breach of Chapter 6 and provisions of Leadership and Integrity Act, abuse of office, obstruction and harassment of legitimate authority at the Gilgil Weighbridge on 21st of January 2015. And you will find this reported clearly in the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission report of 2015. There is Alfred Mutua, who is sitting and also is aspiring to be the governor for Machakos County on Maendeleo Chapchap. And he faces allegations of procurement irregularities of purchasing 12 Subaru vehicles worth 147.3 million, among others. There is Anne Waiguru, who aspires to be the governor for Kirinyaga County on a Jubilee ticket. And Anne Waiguru has investigations relating to the NYS theft, in which up to 1.5 billion shillings was lost. In fact, to correct myself, at least 1.9 billion shillings have been lost. And this was happening under her watch as the CS for devolution. And the audit that has been carried out and the investigations that have been carried out, of course, established that this money was lost. Just this month, the National Assembly Public Accounts Committee did pronounce Anne Waiguru unfit to hold public office. And the special audit report on the National Youth Service as well documents these issues. There is the case of Asman Kamama, who aspires to be a member of parliament for Tiati constituency on a Jubilee ticket. And the allegations are that he is involved in ongoing clashes and suspected of involvement in assassination of opponents. And there is a case filed in, a petition filed in Kakamega, petition number 6 of 2012 by the National Commission on Human Rights, and also a report by the National Commission on Human Rights. There is also Baba Yao Ferdinand Waititu, who aspires to be the governor for Kiambu County on a Jubilee ticket. And Mr. Waititu had already been declared unfit to hold office in 2015 in a case in which he had been appointed to take up position in a public entity, and the court found him unfit to hold public office. There are also questions around academic qualifications and allegations of hate speech and endangering of intercommunal harmony and cohesion. The other person is Cyprian Awiti, who aspires to be governor for Homa Bay County on an ODM ticket. And there are ongoing investigations by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission into possible misappropriation of 200 million Kenyan shillings meant for the Agro City project. And here there is the Auditor General's report that documents these issues. Then there is Elizabeth Ongoro, who aspires to be a member of parliament for Ruaraka constituency on an ANC ticket, and who has been accused of violence during the party nominations, which led her party, the Orange Democratic Movement, barring her from contesting. Then there is Evans Kidero, who is the governor for Nairobi County and also aspires to continue serving as such on an odd ticket. And there are issues around procurement irregularities involving 4.6 billion shillings in plan to launch a transportation system. There have also been cases of unethical conduct in public and physical in public and physical violence against